Do you feel safe?
What are they going to threaten me with? Going to heaven sooner to be with my husband? And I don't say that to be reckless. I do not. I do not say that because I'm out in the streets like, here I am, come find me. And it's not at all. It's a fearlessness that's rooted in the understanding that I will have my day and my time, whenever that is. When the Lord knows that I've completed my mission. And I'm not afraid. Charlie wasn't afraid either. We never lived in fear. If we did, we wouldn't get anything done.
Massive left-wing commentator Kyle Kulinski posted this meme of Erika Kirk, fake grieving widow, Halloween costume meme. This guy has 2 million subs on YouTube, 500K followers on Twitter, and also once appeared at an event with Charlie Kirk. He actually, in 2019, not only took this photo with Charlie Kirk, but he debated him for 2 hours. And it's still on his YouTube channel, by the way. So for those keeping track at home, not only will they say, you listen to our ideas, open debate, we need to listen to each other, conversations. After that, they'll watch you get shot in the neck and die in front of the entire world. Then they will start a rumor saying that your grieving wife, who they say is fake grieving, by the way, is sleeping with the vice president of the United States. And not only is he the vice president of the United States, he's a friend of yours. And then on top of that, they will start making memes about the mother of your children, fake grieving. And they will also talk about her leather pants. That's the game, I guess.
Boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. So we got to talk about the backlash that Democrat influencer, Trump deranged propagandist, socialist lunatic Kyle Kulinski is currently receiving for posting this extremely disgusting meme featuring Erika Kirk, who is currently grieving over the death of her husband, the assassination of her husband, Charlie Kirk.
Well, look at what I went ahead and started, y'all. Look at what I went ahead and started. So, if you haven't noticed, or if you live under a rock, or if you somehow gave up politics over the weekend, I was the villain of the day for everybody right of center. So we had the Daily Mail wrote an article coming after me. The New York Post wrote an article coming after me. I'm sure there were others that I missed. Every right-wing influencer under the sun, Republican politicians came after your boy. Why? Because some might say I memed a little too close to the sun. Now, I happen to disagree with that. I think I'm in the exact right place relative to the sun. But some might say, I don't know, man. I think you're kind of asking for it. Well, we're gonna go ahead and determine that.
Okay, this guy posted this Halloween meme here, okay, of Erika Kirk claiming that she's a fake grieving widow grifter, because in Blue and On circles, they're now obsessed with Erika Kirk. They're pissed off at Erika Kirk, and they're spreading rumors about Erika Kirk basically screwing every man that she touches because of the fact that they don't like the way that she's grieving. And I want to talk about this because some of these conspiracy theories that are not just coming from the left, some of them are also coming from the right as well, too. I mean, you have some people speculating that Erika Kirk is actually behind the assassination of Charlie Kirk. Again, this is the type of stuff that it's just unimaginable, right? Like where we are at in politics. I mean, this is just internet Blue and On slop, right? This is extremist slop. This type of stuff just makes me sick. It makes me want to throw up in my mouth. But we got to talk about it because this is getting out of control, right? These people are extremely upset with Erika Kirk. And the reason why they're upset is because of the fact that they thought after the assassination of Charlie Kirk, an assassination that they celebrated, they thought that right-wingers, right-wing influencers, conservatives, that we would just lay down, right? We would lay down. Oh, we're afraid of the left. They might assassinate us, right? That we would stop speaking out, that Turning Point would fold, right? They thought that Turning Point was over, that it's going to collapse. Now that Charlie Kirk is dead, they thought they won. But the reality is that Turning Point is stronger than ever. And because Turning Point is stronger than ever, you have people on the left mainly, but also some on the right as well too. And I'm speculating that, again, part of the reason why people on the right are going after Turning Point is probably because they have soured relationships at Turning Point and they're trying to get revenge. But anyways, you have these leftists who are really upset because they couldn't kill the movement, right? Turning Point is more popular than ever. They've raised more money than ever. They have more chapters that are opening up across the country in high schools and in colleges, and you're having more young people become conservative, right? Especially young men. So this is really pissing them off because, again, they thought that assassinating Charlie Kirk would kill the movement, but it hasn't. It actually has made the movement stronger than it's ever been. So this is why you have these disgusting lunatics like Kulinski here pushing blue and on slop about Erika Kirk not grieving properly, right? Because, again, leftists will not only try to assassinate you, right? But if they're actually successful, they'll celebrate, and then they'll turn around and they'll attack your wife and say that she's not grieving properly because she's refusing to bend the knee to these far left lunatics who wanted Turning Point to die, right? And because Turning Point is not dying, they're losing their minds, and this is what it's led to. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into this.
Boom. Halloween night. I posted this one. By the way, I feel bad for my boy Paulie Tix. You can see at the bottom right here, the name on this meme is at Paulie Tix. And he makes a lot of fire fucking memes. But, you know, he was not the star of the show, so to speak, over this meme. I somehow became the star of the show. I almost feel bad. I almost feel like it's stolen valor because his fucking name is right there. And they should be at, you know, talking about him. But no, they came after your boy. They came after me. Probably just because the size of my account or whatever and the fact that I have a left-wing show. But so I posted this one. It says, fake grieving widow grifter costume includes fake teardrops, skin-tight black leather morning pants. And it shows Erika Kirk, crying with running mascara, holding a thing full of money as the money falls all over the place. So look, here's the thing. Let's have this conversation. People are asking questions. I'm asking questions, but a lot of people are asking questions. And what are they asking? They're saying, why is she running her hands through J.D. Vance's hair? Why is she doing that? That is a very, very intimate thing to do, and I'm not sure I've ever seen that happen with people who are not dating, who are not together.
All right, so Kyle Kulinski here is going to ask a bunch of questions that, again, is him insinuating that Erika Kirk is screwing J.D. Vance, right? She's screwing all of these men that she interacts with as she's grieving, right? And that's the conspiracy theory that these people are pushing. Except there's one problem. We have actual photos of Erika Kirk hugging women who, unless they want to say that she's a lesbian and that she likes women, which who knows, that's probably what they'll say in order to make this make sense in their tiny brains. But there are photos of Erika Kirk hugging a woman the exact same way that she hugged J.D. Vance. Now, again, people can say, well, this is inappropriate. And it's like, well, I guess it could be if, again, that's not the way that she normally hugs people. But it seems as if she hugs everybody like that. She's just a touchy person. Like, everybody knows that there are some women, especially women, who are just touchy people, and that's just the way that they hug. And it's completely platonic and has nothing to do with a sexual relationship or romance. Now, again, what I find to be fascinating is that these are the same individuals who had absolutely nothing to say about Jill Biden tonguing down Kamala's husband, right? Again, you don't find this to be weird. This is weird, but this is not weird. Fascinating. All of these people who are obsessed with this, right, said nothing about this. You didn't find this to be of concern, right? Kamala Harris's husband tonguing, kissing Jill Biden, the husband of the vice president, kissing the wife of the president of the United States. You don't have any concerns about that. Let's move on here.
Why does he have his hands on her hips? That's another thing I haven't seen unless you're fucking dating.
Yeah, because you didn't watch the video, you idiot. So some blue and on idiot paused the video at the 1 second, the one split second that J.D. Vance briefly had his hands on her hips after the on-stage hug, and they put that out there as if, oh, see, J.D. Vance has his hands on her hips. He's just holding his hands there, right? As if he had his hands there for 5, 10, 15, 20, 30 seconds, right? When clearly that was them disengaging. That was at the point of disengagement, right? As you clearly can see in the video. Now, again, we're talking about a grieving widow. A grieving widow. Why is it that people can't have enough decency to put their derangement aside, put your politics aside, and say, you know what? Let's let this woman have her space, okay? Let's let her grieve the way that she wants to grieve, because everybody grieves differently. When you're talking about dealing with the death of your lover, of your husband, of the father of your kids, your children. But again, the whole point of this video, I'm just showing you guys, this is who these people are. These are the type of people that we're dealing with here, okay?
Why is she wearing leather clubbing sexy pants at what's supposed to be just a run-of-the-mill event, and here she is around JD Vance?
Because she can wear whatever she wants to wear. Is this what the left is into now? Is the left into policing what women wear, right? Is that what leftists are into? I don't know, right? I don't know. Because, you know, leftists told us that, hey, we're not supposed to be in the business of policing what women wear, what they choose to wear, and what they choose not to wear, right? She can wear whatever she wants to wear. I don't understand, like, where are you going with this? Like, what are you trying to say? Are you saying that she's wearing leather pants in order to, I don't know, find a new husband? To raise money? Like, what are you saying? Where is this going? Who cares? Who cares if she wears leather pants? She can wear whatever she wants. She's a grieving widow.
Why did she say publicly that JD reminds her of Charlie?
Because JD, just like Charlie Kirk, has the unique ability to reach out to young people, young men, to speak to young men. That's why she said that. Because JD reminds me a lot of Charlie Kirk as well, too, in the way that he articulates his ideas, his ability, again, to speak to a certain crowd of people. That's why she said that. Again, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure this stuff out, but when your brain is on blue and on, right? Everything is a conspiracy. Everything is a conspiracy. Again, this is slop, man. This is slop. This is bottom of the barrel bullshit. And it pisses me off because I like the amount of disgusting things that I've seen since the assassination of Charlie Kirk. Like, it's driving me insane. It really is.
Why did JD say publicly that he wants his wife to convert to Christianity, throwing his fucking wife under the bus?
That's not throwing his wife under the bus. If you've ever been in a relationship with somebody that's of a different faith, of course you're going to want that person to adopt your faith. There's nothing abnormal about that, right? Because in the ideal relationship, two individuals would share the same faith, but it's okay if they don't. They have an interfaith relationship. So yeah, you're going to want your wife or your lover to convert, but that doesn't mean that he's pressuring her to convert or that it is mandatory that she converts. No, he's just saying in the ideal situation, yeah, she becomes a Christian. Yeah, that is what most Christians would want if they're in an interfaith relationship. They would want their spouse to eventually adopt the same religion. But even if she doesn't convert, he still loves her, right? Which again is something that leftists, you would think, would celebrate this type of stuff, right? They'd be like, oh, this is great. This is awesome. This is the type of country that we want. JD would be celebrated as an example for what they want to see from white folks, right? From white men specifically. But for whatever reason, no. They're attacking Usha Vance and they're attacking Erika Kirk. That's what they're doing. That's what they're doing in the most disgusting ways possible. You can't make this stuff up, man.
Throwing his wife directly under the bus. Why was her head also on Jesse Waters' chest? That's another thing that happened, which was very apparent and very clear. And
which is just more proof and evidence that the way that she grieves, man or woman, she's a touchy person. That doesn't mean that she's screwing them, okay? That's not what it means. But again, in the minds of a leftist, she's screwing all of these guys, right? She couldn't wait until Charlie was assassinated so she could go out and screw JD Vance and Jesse Waters. Wow. Insane.
He had to pretend like it wasn't bizarre as we were all witnessing it. Why did she rush in to fundraise off of Charlie Kirk's murder? That seems wildly inappropriate to me.
Yeah, and this is what I'm telling you guys. This is what they're mad about. If you listen to them, they're going to tell you what they're actually really upset about. This is what they're really mad about. The reason why Erika Kirk is fundraising is because that's what Charlie would want. Charlie would not want Erika Kirk to fold and to not continue the mission of Turning Point. He would want her to continue to fight, to make sure that the movement is stronger than ever. So again, that's what they're mad about. They're mad because Turning Point is getting a record amount of fundraising, a record amount of memberships, a record amount of attention. Okay, it's a household name now due to what happened to Charlie. That's what they're really upset about. This is where the anger is actually coming from. Just listen to him.
Wildly inappropriate in that moment. Why did she post creepy videos on social media of her holding her dead husband's hand with him laying in the casket, getting fucking social media clout off of his demise? Are you kidding me? If I was fucking murdered, do you think Crystal would take a picture holding my dead hand as I'm in the carcass and fucking trying to make a social media clout moment off of it? Are you kidding me?
Yeah, I actually do think that she would do that. I do think that your wife, who I think is screwing you, I don't think you screw her. I think she screws you. Yeah, I do think she would do that. And, you know, kind of in the same similar fashion that you did when your dad died and you decided to grift off of that and to lie about the cause of his death and why he died because you wanted to promote Bernie Sanders' campaign. I think that, yeah, she would do something similar to what you did.
Not many people know this, and I don't think I've spoken about this on air yet. But one of the reasons my father died young is because of a chiropractor. Okay, you're probably thinking, whoa, what the f***? Are you serious? So my father, he smoked heavily his whole life. He died at the age of 56, okay, from lung cancer. And the cancer metastasized all over the place. Now, he's one of those guys who has this belief system that I totally disagree with. I always have. The idea that you never go to a doctor. Okay, you don't trust doctors, you never go to doctors, yada, yada. Well, that was problem number one. Problem number two is when he started having some back pain, he didn't go to a doctor. He knew a chiropractor from the place where he would golf all the time.
A few years later.
Because we don't have Medicare for all. He very well could be alive today if we had Medicare for all. He didn't have insurance. He avoided going to the doctor for his back pain. He went to a freaking chiropractor instead to save money. It was a tumor. By the time he went to the emergency room, it was too late. He died very soon thereafter. So Joe Biden is saying, okay, under my administration, I would pursue policies that still have your dad die, Kyle.
Yeah. Fascinating. Absolutely fascinating. Way back when, before the Democrat primary in 2019, Kulinski claimed that, well, my dad died because he was one of those people that didn't like seeing a doctor. He just didn't like going to the doctor. He went to the chiropractor instead, and they caught the cancer too late, right? Even though he had back pain. Fast forward to the Democrat primary. Now it's time to shuck and jive for Bernie, right? And Medicare for all, right? Which they claim is going to solve everybody's problems if the government just pays for your health care. My dad died because we didn't have Medicare for all. Therefore, it's Biden's fault. Biden advocates for the same policies that killed my dad. Even though this dude admitted years before that his dad died because his dad was an irresponsible person. His dad decided he would rather not go to the doctor. He went to the wrong individual for his back pain because he didn't believe in going to the doctor, according to Kulinski. And the fact that this man married Crystal Ball, who I'm assuming he has similar values with, I mean, she's a far-left lunatic too. If Kulinski would use his own father, would lie about why his father died in order to grift for Bernie Sanders for political gain, for political clout, yeah, I think it's pretty reasonable to assume that Crystal Ball would probably do the same thing if something happened to Kulinski. I'm pretty sure she would do the same damn thing. And I'm sure she'd immediately go and screw another dude too because, you know, a lot of these far-left women, I mean, they're for the streets, right? And Crystal Ball certainly is for the streets, considering how she has, you know, pictures of her giving full-blown fellatio to nose dildos, right? Floating around on the internet. So, yeah, I know for a fact she for the streets, right? I know exactly the type of woman you married, which, again, is why you married her, okay? Because she's for the streets. You can't really do much better than that.
It is me in the pictures, and, you know, it was a gag party from right after college at a friend's house, a private residence. I don't know where these particular pictures came from, but I have to tell you, I mean, the whole thing, of course it's embarrassing, but more than that, I'm pretty angry about it. I think this is incredibly sexist. I think it's outrageous. I think it's exactly the sort of thing that voters are extremely frustrated with. You know, we have been, today, we launched our radio ads actually challenging my opponent to debate on the issues. And that's what Virginians want to hear about. You know, how are we going to get people back to work? How are we going to make sure we have the #1 education system in the world? How are we going to make sure we have roads that allow people to get to and from work on time? I mean, those are the things that Virginians care about. And the fact that they've dug up these old pictures of me in a Halloween costume, it's sexist and it's wrong.
So, no, I don't think it's unheard of. I think that Crystal Ball would certainly grift if something happened to Kulinski here.
Fucking grotesque, and we're not going to pretend like it's not. It absolutely positively is. Why were there fucking pyrotechnics at his funeral before she spoke like it was some sort of WWE event, like it was some sort of fucking celebration? Why did she immediately come out and say, I'm going to take over Charlie's position at TPUSA? Don't you think that the overwhelming majority of people, especially if you're torn up psychologically and mentally, wouldn't you say, you know what, I'm going to step back from the spotlight. I'm going to have some time to mourn. I'm going to have some time to reflect. I'm going to have some time to rethink my life. I'm going to have some time to get my shit together since I just lost my fucking better half.
Boom. Boom. There you go. That's it, guys. That's what this is about. What they wanted her to do, they wanted her to fold. They wanted her to say, all right, I'm out. Turning point is done. I am going to go into the shadows, and I'm not going to continue the mission of my husband. That's what they wanted. That's what they thought would happen. And because she didn't do that, these people have been pissed off since the day that she came out and she gave that speech. Everybody remembers that speech that she gave.
The evildoers responsible for my husband's assassination have no idea what they have done. They killed Charlie because he preached a message of patriotism, faith, and of God's merciful love. But they should all know this. If you thought that my husband's mission was powerful before, you have no idea. You have no idea what you just have unleashed across this entire country and this world. You have no idea. You have no idea the fire that you have ignited within this wife. The cries of this widow will echo around the world like a battle cry.
They've been pissed off since that day. They've been going after her since that day because she has made sure that these leftists will not win. They will not win. That assassinating somebody and celebrating it will not give them the result that they thought they had. They thought they killed a movement. But what they did is that they woke up the movement. That's what they did. They may have killed Charlie, but when they killed Charlie, something else was born, right? A new movement was born. A stronger movement was born. And that's what these people are pissed off about. Listen to them. Listen to them. Why is she fundraising so much? Well, why are you concerned about the money that Turning Point is raising? Why are you concerned about that? Why did she just go off into the shadows and get out of the spotlight and just be a crying widow? You would think these people would appreciate a strong woman, right? A strong woman taking a leadership role, not backing down. You would think they appreciate that. But it seems as if a strong woman is their worst nightmare, right? In this situation. They don't really like that. And that's what this is about. That's what it's about. 100%. Look how angry they get. They're angry. He's angry. He's seething because she's not giving up, because Turning Point became stronger. They didn't get the result that they wanted. They thought that we would be scared. They thought that we would stop. They thought that we would just allow leftists to win. And that's not what happened. So they're angry and upset. And they're taking out their anger on her in the most disgusting ways possible. It's really interesting. It really is.
No, she immediately jumped in and said, I'm going to take Charlie's position at TPUSA. Why are there videos that are all over social media, and they are, you can't deny it, of her crying, but it's 100% proven there are no tears. She's got the tissue, she's doing the thing, but then you zoom in, there's no tears.
100% proven there's no tears, except when you do zoom in, there are tears. Like, clearly she is crying. Her eyes are red. She has tears coming down her face, right? Like, again, these people, they're grasping for straws, right? This is the version of where I'm just asking questions as justification for celebrating the death of Charlie Kirk to make themselves feel better about the fact that they openly celebrate the death of Charlie Kirk. Well, see, his widow is fake grieving. She ain't really mad. So why should I feel bad about it? If his widow doesn't really feel bad about it, if she's screwing other dudes already, if she's crying fake tears, if she's grifting, well, I guess it's okay for me to celebrate. It's okay for me not to feel bad about it. It's okay for me not to feel guilty about the fact that a left-wing extremist assassinated Charlie Kirk. That's what's happening. That's exactly what they're trying to make themselves feel better because they know they're evil. They know deep inside that they're bad people. They know that. And to make themselves feel better about it, they're taking it out on Erika Kirk. That's what this is. That's exactly what this is. So, again, I just want to react to that because I think that it is important to show the world who these people are and how disgusting these people are. And at this point, I'm not sure how do you heal a country? How do you come together with people who think like this, who are this deranged? The only thing that you can do at this point, the only thing that we can do is to make sure that these people never, ever, ever, ever get a significant amount of power and control in this country. That is the only way to stop these people. That's it. This is why it's important that we stay engaged, that we do not let these people win. What they want is for us to fold. They want us to bend over and to go away. They want us scared. And we cannot give that to them. And look how angry they're getting that we're not. So let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.